There he is. Well, you see that bobber drop? Nice little gill. What I'm doing is I'm on a big weed flat. It's probably about 8 foot or so, 8 to 9 foot. And these weeds come up to about 4 foot below the surface. So I've got my bobber stop set up at 4 feet. And then I've got my rocket bobber set up in a slip bobber mode. And I'm using a 16th ounce jig with a Berkeley power tail. Now the reason I've got that bobber stop set up at 4 feet is because those weeds come up off the bottom to about 4 foot below the surface. So now when I cast this bait out, what's going to happen is you're going to see that bobber just kind of lay flat and kind of wobble. Well, that's that jig dropping all the way down. And once it's all the way down, that bobber is going to stand just vertical. There's one right there. Oops. Boy, he's got it. Oh, yeah. You hit it on the drop. You see, a lot of these fish, what they'll do is they'll grab this bait on the drop. So I'm just basically utilizing this this bobber as a jigging platform is what I'm doing. I'm casting out. Boy, he got right into the weeds. There they go down. Here he comes. And so anyway, I'm using this bobber as a jigging platform is what I'm doing. And I'm covering water that way. Here he comes. Oh boy, this is a nice gill. Wrapped up in the weeds. Oh, yeah. Not real bad. Yeah, a real nice gill, actually. See how they hit on the drop? Look, it goes right into those weeds. Yeah, see, that's a nice looking gill right there. So anyway, the key is to keep that bait just above those weed tips. Nice little gill. Now, a lot of times when you're casting like this, you'll see that bobber standing vertical. And if it just drops down, you know, that's typically a bluegill. But then if that bobber all of a sudden is just standing vertical and that jig is all the way down and that bobber lays flat, that's typically a crappie coming up underneath it. So now what you're doing is you're basically detecting the upbite. So now I'm just going to let it sit. So I cast it out, I let it sit. Typically probably, I don't know, 5 seconds. Now I'm going to pull back like that, which raises that jig up. And then I just drop my rod tip, and then that jig starts to fall again. And once it's all the way down, there he is. Boy, he grabbed it right away. See, a lot of times they'll always, you know, they typically hit on the drop. So there he's sitting right there. Now I'll just pull up like this, which raises the jig up. And then when I drop my rod tip down, that lets that jig fall again. There he is. See him grab that right on the drop? Another nice gill. Boy, they go for them weeds. Ah, he's in there. When they get in those weeds, just let them work their way out. Just keep your line tight and just let them work their way out. Don't horse them. Oh yeah, another nice gill. That's a dandy. They're right in them weeds. We have a big bass that jumped or something. Yeah, this is just a great technique to catch these fish like this. Boy. Yeah, nice looking gill. I've got to re-rig my jig here. Let's see if we can get a crappie. There's a nice fish. But I'll tell you what, as that jig was falling, he grabbed it. They go right into the weeds. Eat on these weed flats like this. Just a great way to get fish. Just nice and easy, pull them out of them weeds. Don't horse them, you'll shake it. I'm going to have to go up after this fish. Here he comes. Here he comes. Right smack in them weeds. Boy, it's a nice gill, though. Oh, yeah. Look at the weeds. Boy, oh boy. get into a clump of weeds. Is there a fish underneath this? Sure is. Okay. Oh yeah. Nice looking gill. You wanted that bait. Yeah, good looking gill.